But you know what days are awesome? Days when you get new tools are awesome. And today I've got one of these. This is an inspection camera from Bullant, from Burson Auto Parts. I've always wanted one of these. I've used a few other ones. This one's really cool though. I've sneaked a look in the box already, but the camera end is really tiny. And I actually the other day was just thinking, I rang a friend, I'm like, have you got an inspection camera? Because I want to check out the engine in this CBR. Not too sure how good it is, but it'd be nice to see what it looks like inside the bores because it was a bit sketchy when I got it. I've got this now. I'm going to unpack it. I'm going to throw the GoPro on my chest so that you see what I'm seeing, hopefully, with all my crazy arms and stuff like that. But going to stick this down the spark plug hole in the CBR, see what we can see, and then have a look at a few other things. But pretty damn cool. Unboxing time. Now, like I said, I did cheat. I've already opened it. I had a look. Instructions. Very, very simple thing to use this. So here we go. Camera, which is incredibly long, and then the unit itself, then that, which is a vision cable for us TV people if you want to plug it into a monitor or a TV or something like that. Very awesome. And then the unit itself, which has a pretty sturdy, nice plug on the end with a sliding sleeve there that goes up and spins and locks it in place, which is pretty damn cool. So I'm going to put this GoPro on my chest and show you what I can see with this. Alright, so here we go. This is the actual unit itself. Pretty cool. Just takes 4 AA batteries inside there. I would say, suggested by the box here, that it's got the spot there for your batteries, so when you're not using it, pull the batteries out, because batteries left in stuff can often get messy. So take them out, put them in there. It's a perfect spot for it. On the end here, got the little plug there, and it's pretty simple. Only locates one way. There's like a little slot in there. So this is really strong with some cable too, which is awesome. So put him like that. And then it's got an arrow on there that says remove as well, which is pretty cool. So you know exactly what you're doing. Do that up. And that's actually that strong that I've got that sort of spread right out like that. So if you can see that, and that's holding its own weight, so that's how strong that is. So that's cool. Like if you're right up under a car and trying to get up over a gearbox or something like that, then you'll be able to position this and ram it all into place. We might even need to use it on Frank the Tank to look on top of the gearbox and transfer case for different plugs and stuff like that. We might have missed a plug or something doing the wiring, but we'll try that tomorrow. I'm sure Perry will find some uses for this. But here you go. Gonna turn it on. Not sure which direction up the camera is facing, but like that. And then in the instructions here, in the menu through the buttons, it's pretty easy. Like this one here on the end is screen brightness. So crank the screen brightness right up. Leave that down there. Or this one here is, if you see the little camera there, here's the light in the end of the camera. So if you're going into dark places, you can turn the light on and brighten it up. That one there rotates it left or right or upside down. So if you are upside down, like I was a second ago, you can do that. And then turn this light back off. Whoop. And then obviously the one on the end there is just power on off. So, and it comes on and off really quickly. Like, yeah, there you go, straight on, no messing around. Now, the cool bit is I'm going to take my phone over here so I can see exactly what we're filming. It's pretty freaky. Whoa. So I can see what the camera is facing at, so I'm not filming the ceiling. This bike here is the CBR 900 that I'm building at the moment on the YouTube channel. In the very first video I mentioned the engine was a bit unsure as to whether it was any good. It was obviously flooding the carbies and the sump was full of petrol. They'd hooked up the fuel tank to the carbies and then flooded the carbies with water because it had drained off the top of the fuel tank where the filler is. There's a drain there. Goes into there. Anyway, I was a bit nervous that the engine was going to be any good, but I bit the bullet and I threw a set of spark plugs in it, drained the oil, let it drain and drain and drain overnight, put fresh oil in it, fresh oil filter, pulled the carburetors apart, cleaned all them out. It was actually quite clean and tidy in the head, which I was very happy about. And I fired it up and it ran for a while. It was a little bit smoky, but I just let it heat cycle for a while and it seemed to be all right. But in saying that, I never really got to look inside. So what I've just done now is in cylinders number 1 and 2 here, I've taken the spark plugs out already, and happy to say that so they're looking pretty good. It hasn't really had any load on, it's just been idling, but they didn't foul up or anything like that, and they both look like that. I'll pull 3 and 4 out as well, but you don't need to go through that saga with me. But the whole reason we're here though is to have a play with this little puppy. So, and like I said before, this is the Bullant inspection camera from Burson. So if you can see in the background here, I'll try and keep this in the bottom corner. This is going over the top here and down here. I'm going to turn the light on. So that's there just above cylinder number 1. And granted, like, it's no TV camera or anything like that. I mean, it's only a tiny little camera. It's going to be a little bit of gymnastics here to get this down into the spark plug hole, but we'll get there. A bit of levering. Yep, there we go. In the hole, down there, and so that is piston number 1. It looks a bit pitted and stuff like that, but that's probably just normal wear and tear. It actually looks reasonably clean on top there. It's a bit hard to see the cylinder walls because it's not a very wide camera, but then again, I'm guessing that this piston is close to the top of its stroke, so I can either get around the other side, pull the engine cover off. I'll just show you this here a bit closer. Yeah, I can either get around the other side and crank the engine over by hand. Obviously you wouldn't do it by key, and move the cylinder down, but what I've done is pull this puppy out here and drop it into number 2, because 2 is opposite number 1. So if that one's up, this one should be down. No, this one's up, so they're probably about the same actually. So what I might do is I'm going to go around the other side, pull the inspection cover off, and then I'm going to cycle the engine over to pull that piston down to the bottom. So bear with me, I'll pop that off and we'll resume in a second. So I can see that that now is where the spark plug threads in, so I can actually see the piston there. I'm going to slowly move that, and then should be able to get it to the point where the piston is all the way down. There you go, that looks like it's all the way down there. I'm pretty much just checking the pistons, so I can just see in there what's going on with the edge of the piston, with the valves, and they actually look pretty good. So I'm not too sure what that mark is on top there. That might just be a shiny spot or something like that, but it's all looking pretty good. So I'm just going to do the same with number 1. From memory, I think this engine's got about 40,000 Ks on it, so I wouldn't expect the pistons to look brand new anyway. But we'll pop him out of there. Alright, in you go. So that one's sitting up the top there. I think that little speck of white was actually a bit of crap that I just pushed in there. So what I'll do before I put the pistons back in is, there's a bit of dust down those holes, is I will get the air compressor and just give them a little quick blow down the holes. So she's all the way down. And this one here, same deal. It's hard to tell, but it's mainly for me, it's seeing if there's any damage on the piston, and they look pretty good considering the age. Bit of dust in there floating around, but like I said, I'll give that a blowout before it gets done. But yeah, other than that, pretty damn cool. Right, another awesome thing about this camera too is we've all had those times where we've dropped something and couldn't find something, or something gets stuck behind something, and it's a real pain, and getting it back is just a disaster. So what they've done here is this little kit here comes with a magnet, a little hook, a double-ended hook, and even like a little tiny a dentist mirror type thing. So what that does is allows you, this little sleeve here, it's got a little slot in the end of it. So without even checking the instructions, I already know what this does because this is super cool. That goes in the little slot there. Put the camera up here. You have a magnet on the end of your camera there, so crank up this brightness here so we can see what's going on. Whoop. And then I'll turn the light on, so I've got a bit of light there behind the magnet. And as an example, oh look, there's a little bolt. I'm just going to drop this underneath this instructions here and really poke it in under there so we can't find it. Oh no, where's it gone? Oh, it's in there where I can't reach it, so I'm going to get in here and go, oh yep, there's the bolt over there. Come here, bolt. Gotcha. Alright, there you go. Pretty impressed with that. Love all the extra little tools that come with it. I'm a mechanic by trade. I can't remember back when I did my apprenticeship and was working as a mechanic, that anything like that would have cost a fortune back in the day. I know they're more and more common now, but the best thing with that one is the size of the camera. It gets like obviously down in the cylinder there on the bike. Extra tools there that help you get bits and pieces out that you've lost or you can't find. And yeah, it's a pretty reasonable price unit. But also big thanks to Burson for their support with Frank Tank Project. We'll probably be using this at some stage on the Frank project if we can't find where a few wires and bits and pieces go that are tucked up on top of the gearbox or something like that. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate your support. Building subscribers, hoping to crack 50,000 at some stage. That would be absolutely awesome. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And also make sure you hit the notification bell, because all the algorithms and stuff like that, you won't even bother subscribing if you don't hit the bell. But yeah, really thanks for your support. Back very soon with another video on the Land Cruiser, and then another video on the bike. And this whole quarantine process is not so bad if you're messing around in the shed and building stuff. But yeah, obviously I want everyone to stay safe and look after themselves and their families and everything, and do the right thing. And yeah, we'll see you soon.